Howdy, welcome to the Equations and Inequalities practice test. We're going to do a walkthrough. Make sure first you did the problems, make sure you gave effort. Knowing the answers does you absolutely no good if you don't know how they got them. It's only a practice test, it's not graded. If you're watching it right now, hoping to write down the answers, stop. Go do the test. Then, watch the answers, and what you don't understand, you'll know what to study for. So, let's look at this first one here. It says, what is the solution for the equation 5 plus 6x equals 2x minus 7? I love simple equations. I'm just going to draw my straight line down, and I'm going to start combining things. My variable I'm going to move first, so I've got 2 and 6x. 6x is bigger, so I'm going to subtract 2x from this side, subtract from this side. I get, well, this side goes away, so I get negative 7 over there. Here I get 6x minus 2x is 4x, and I got to add 5 to that. Now I'm going to move my 5s. So minus 5 from both sides goes away. I get 4x equals negative 5 plus negative 7. Remember, they're both negative, so I just add them together, keep the sign. Negative 12. Then I divide by the coefficient, which is 4. That goes away. X equals negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. So x equals negative 3. Hey, I like it when the answer's right there. All right, number 2. Choose the equation to find out choose the equation to find out in how many hours the repair services would cost the same. So we're looking at that point where they equal each other. So TechRite, they have a service charge of $75. That's that one-time fee, or the B. Plus $50 an hour, that's 50 times X per hour, or 50H, but I happen to see down here they're using X's. So Best Buy 25 service charge, that's that B, the one-time fee, plus $70 an hour, that's 70X. So let's find one that's 75 plus 50X equals 25 plus 70X. So 75 plus 50, no, that's 75X, that one's gone. 75X again, 75 plus 50X equals 25 plus 70X. Hey, this is what we wanted. All right, looking at number 3. Ariel gave her dad a $50 gift certificate. He plans to buy a $12 book on home repair and as many drill bits as he can for $179 each. Choose the inequality that shows X, the number of drill bits he can buy. So the $50 gift certificate, that's the total amount. He can't spend over that, which means he must spend whatever he's doing. It must be less than or equal to $50. So anything down here that's got $50 is greater than is just add-on drugs. You can't use those at all because you can't spend more than you have. So $12 book, that's a one-time fee, that's our B. And then $179 each. Each is kind of like per, so that's our X. So 12 plus 1.79X. It's got to be less than or equal to 50. So 12 plus 179X is less than or equal to 50. All right, number 4. 4/5 of the number minus 2 is greater than 3/5 of that number. What's the solution to the inequality? So 4/5 of a number, that's 4/5 of a number. I'm just going to use N. Actually, they use X over here, so let's change that to X. So 4/5 X minus 2 is greater than 3/5 of X. So 3/5 of X. Well, let's solve it. It's just like an equation. The only thing I remember, if I divide or multiply by a negative, I got to flip the sign. So I got 4/5 over here, 3/5 over here, negative 2. So let's move this 4/5 here. So because I'm going to leave the 2 there. So 4/5 X, so minus 4/5 X. This goes away. I get negative 2 is greater than 3/5 minus 4/5 is a negative 1/5 X. Now, I'm going to multiply, because I've got a fraction here, I'm going to multiply by negative 5. I am multiplying by a negative number, which means I've got to flip this sign. And over here, I'm going to multiply by negative 5 also. So negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. Negative 5, 1/5, those cancel each other out. I get X. So 10 is less than X. Right here. 10 is less than x, or x is greater than 10. You say it backwards. Number 5. Mike weighs 200 pounds and plans to lose 1.5 pounds a week. Jeff weighs 180 pounds and plans to lose 0.5 pounds a week. When will Mike weigh less than Jeff? So this is a less than question, so let's look at it. So Mike starts out at 200 pounds, and he's losing 200 pounds minus 1.5 pounds a week. And Jeff weighs 180 pounds. He plans to lose 0.5 pounds a week, so 0.5x. When will Mike weigh less than, so this is Mike over here, right? Mike and Jeff. When will Mike weigh less than Jeff? So at that point, Jeff will weigh more than Mike. So once I do that, I got an equation. I just move things around. I'm going to move my 1.5 over there, so plus 1.5x. Again, I'm not afraid of working with decimals. Fractions kind of give me the willies, so I usually change them out. So this goes away, so 200 less than 180. 0.5x or negative 0.5x plus positive equals just x, because it's 1x and I just dropped the 1. Now I move this over here, so subtract 180 from both sides. This goes away, so x, and this becomes 20. So when x is greater than 20 weeks, Mike will weigh less than Jeff. So after 20 weeks. Alright, let's look at this one. It says, use the equation described to answer question 7. 4 times the number plus 3 is the same as 5 plus the number. So write the equation. Well, 4 times the number, 4x, plus 3 is the same as, that's an equal, right? Same as 5 plus the number. Well, that was pretty easy. Solve the equation. Okay, well, I'm going to put it down here. 4x plus 3 equals 5 plus x. I'm going to move my x's first, draw my line. So minus x minus x. So this one gives me 3x plus 3 equals, they go away, 5. I'm going to move my numbers now to the left. So I'm going to minus 3 from both sides. So 3x equals 5 minus 3 is 2, because these went away. Then I'm going to divide by the coefficient. So go away, x equals 2/3, or for those of you who care, 0.6 repeating. So I'm just going to leave it as x equals 2/3. 0.6 repeating would be perfectly fine. Yay! Alright. This top one here says, use the equation described below to answer questions 8 through 9. So we've got a chess club. It has 500 members, but it's losing 30 members a year. I guess people aren't into chess. And a computer club has 130 members, but people are into computers. It's gaining 20 members per year. When will the two clubs have the same number? So we're looking for equality. So up here, 500 members, but it's subtracting 30 members per year. We'll just use X as year. I think I used Y on the video or on the test. So, and it's the same, so we're looking for equals. Down here, the computer club has 130 members, and they're gaining, or they're adding 20 members per year. And then here, our number 9 says solve the equation. I have a huge amount of white space over here, so I'm going to use it. So 500 minus 30y equals 130 plus 20y. An amazing amount of errors occur just in transferring. So I'm going to move my my variable numbers first, and this one's a negative. I'm going to move so that I get big positive. Whoops, I'm thinking in my head there again. So I'm going to add 30y to both sides. Whoops. So here it goes away. I get 500 equals 130 plus 50y. See what I mean? I was trying to add numbers in my head. I do that a lot. Now I'm going to move these over. So I'm subtracting, whoops, I didn't draw my line. I'm subtracting 130 from both sides. My hand is sticking to the paper. Over here it just has 50y. 500 minus 130 is 370 equals 50y. I'm going to divide both sides by 50. That's the coefficient, or the number with the variable. This one goes away. Y I'm going to cheat a little bit because I can. I'm going to use the calculator. So 370 divided by 50. That equals 7.4. So y, the equation solved is y equals 7.4, which says in 7.4 years they'll be the same number, and after that it goes down for the chess club. Okay, so number 10 is the straight up solve the equation. Solve the equation 5 minus 1/2 x equals 5/8 x plus 2 fractions. Fractions are always wholly troublesome, so let's deal with it and get rid of them. 5 minus 1/2 x equals 5/8 x plus 2. I'm going to look in for the lowest common multiple with these two fractions, and that happens to be 8. And so I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. Now 8 times 5, distributing 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times negative 1/2. Well, 1/2 of 8 is 4, so negative 4x equals 8 times 5/8. They cancel each other out, so I end up with 5x. And 8 times 2 is 16. Now it's just a straight up equation that I can deal with and like. So I'm going to move my variables first. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides. I get 40 equals 9x plus 16. Now I'm going to move my so I get 9x, and I get 40 over here. 40 minus 16. Can you still see me on the? Let me move over here. Sorry. 40 minus 16 is 24 equals 9. So divide by the coefficient. Now I can simplify this. 24 over 9. I'm going to simplify this, dividing both by 3. So 24 divided by 3 is 8 over 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 8 over 3. And since it's starting a fraction, I'm going to give it back to them in a fraction. So 3 will go into 8 2 times full, and that'll leave 2/3. So my answer is 2 2/3 equals x. So x equals 2 2/3. Okay. Let's look at numbers 11 and 12. It says, use the inequality described below to answer questions 11 through 12. Allie and Josh are going to sell canvas backpacks. They spend $75 for a used sewing machine and estimate the canvas will cost $15 per backpack. They plan to sell the backpacks for $30. They should sell them for $50. Write and solve an inequality to find when they'll start making a profit. So we're doing an inequality, and that's pretty straight up. So inequality. 75 is a fixed amount. They only buy one sewing machine, so that's 75. Plus, canvas is $15 per backpack, so 15 per backpack. Now, they're going to sell the backpacks for $30 per backpack. So it says, write and solve an inequality to find out when they'll start making a profit. So at what time will this be greater than this? And that's what they need. So now I'm going to use my right hand side here to solve this sucker. So 75 plus 15b less than 30b. Do my line. Start moving some numbers and variables. Minus 15b from both sides. That leaves that as 15b. This goes away. So 75 is less than 15b. Divide by 15. I am not dividing by a negative number, so I do not have to flip the sign. That goes away as b. 15 goes into 75 5 times. So when b is greater than 5, meaning as soon as they sell more than 5 backpacks, they will start making money. All right. Number 13. What's the distance between the points at 8, 5 and 5, 2? So this is distance formula. So distance equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So x2 is, let's go I'm just going to start with this as x2. So 8 minus 5, so it equals the square root of 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 is 3, so 3 squared, plus 5 minus 1 is 4, so 4 squared. So square root of 9, 3 squared is 9, plus 16, that's the square root of 25, and I know that 5 times 5 is 25, so that one is 5. Didn't even need a calculator. Aren't I special? Alright. For 14 and 15, picture a cylinder with a radius of 10 centimeters and a height of 30 centimeters. Use pi for 3.14. I don't have to picture. I'm going to just draw me a lovely cylinder. Remember, it's a model. It doesn't have to be perfect. It says my radius is 10 and my height is 30. So, first of all, let's find the volume. Well, volume equals big B times H, the area of the base times the height. Well, the area of a circle is pi r squared. And then we got to bring in the height. So pi is 3.14 times r squared. 10 times 10 is 100 times height is 30. I'm actually going to use the calculator now because that seems like a lot of math to try and do in my head. Plus I got a calculator. So 3.14 times 100 times 30. And that equals 9,420. I'm actually going to put centimeters cubed here, but in your online stuff, just drop that, just give the numbers. All right, so find the lateral surface area. Ooh, lateral surface area, that's just the area on the outside here. And the formula for that, lateral equals the diameter, or the perimeter, in this case it's diameter because we're looking at this. So diameter is pi, I said diameter, I meant circumference. Pi times diameter, and there's my head working. So that would be the circumference times the height. So pi is 3.14 times diameter is twice the radius times 20 times the height is 30. So now I can use my calculator again. 3.14 times 20 times 30. Lateral surface area is 1,884 centimeters squared. Again, if you're typing it in, don't worry about the centimeters squared. Well, I hope you got all that. Remember, if you didn't, study. Learn how to get it, not just the answer.